Hello children, how are you doing? I'm sure you're enjoying all kinds of new stories. Children, every season comes with different set of fruits. And with fruits, what comes to our mind? Fruit juice, isn't it? And everybody likes a different flavor of juice, isn't it? I'm sure you also have your own choices. Well, today's story is not completely about a flavor of juice, but it's also about a king and his actions. So let's see how this combination takes place. Let's enjoy the story, Change of Flavor. Jahangir was the eldest son of Akbar. He was one of the 6 Mughal emperors who ruled over India. Jahangir is remembered for his love for beauty and justice. He had a big bell fixed on a golden chain hung at the gate of the royal palace. Anyone who pulled the chain was heard and given justice by him. बच्चों, जहांगीर जो कि एक मुगल एम्परर थे, वो जाने जाते हैं अपने अच्छे इंसाफ देने के लिए. उनके किंगडम में एक बड़ी सी बेल थी. जो भी उस बेल को बजाता था उसकी सुनवाई की जाती थी, उसकी बात सुनी जाती थी. He was also fond of the beauty of the woods, the fragrance of flowers and the taste of fruits. Here, the word woods means forest and the word fragrance of flowers means the sweet, good smell of flowers. Woods here mean forest and fragrance means good smell. Often he would go out in procession along with his ministers, courtiers and other attendants. But on several occasions he would go out alone in disguise of a common man to see the condition of the people of his empire. वैसे तो वो अपने मंत्रियों के साथ निकलते थे पूरे राज्य की देखरेख के लिए, देखने के लिए क्या हो रहा है, बट कभी कभार वो भेष बदल के निकलते थे जानने के लिए कि जो आम आदमी है, प्रजा है, जनता है, उनके साथ कैसा बर्ताव किया जा रहा है. तो जब कोई इंसान भेष बदल कर निकलता है, स्पेशली कोई राजा महाराजा, पहले ऐसे बहुत होता था, उसके लिए एक वर्ड यूज होता है डिस्गाइज. He would visit the towns and villages, talk to the people, and then return to the palace with new ideas to improve their lot. One day he rode off alone in the disguise of a merchant. एक दिन वो एक व्यापारी का भेष बदलकर अकेले ही निकल गए. It was the month of September. The rain had just washed the earth, the trees and the leaves clean. Every object looked bright after the rain bath. While riding through the countryside, he saw the farmers plowing their fields. Children, we use another word for village or the suburb outer area of any place, that is called countryside. The rain was plentiful this year. The fields looked green with the crops. They were waving in the light breeze. इस साल बहुत अच्छी बारिश हुई थी, बहुत अच्छी वर्षा हुई थी, तो जो सारे फील्ड्स थे, जितने खेत थे, बहुत ही सुंदर तरीके से लहलहा रहे थे. उसमें अच्छी फसल लगी हुई थी, बहुत ही सुंदर लग रहा था. He was happy thinking that there would be no famine in his empire and the people would not starve. जहांगीर ने सोचा कि कितनी अच्छी बात है, इतनी अच्छी वर्षा हुई है, तो इस बार बिल्कुल सूखा नहीं पड़ेगा. So here the word used is famine. There would be no famine. और वो इस बात से खुश था कि उसकी प्रजा को, उसकी जनता को भूखा नहीं रहना पड़ेगा. Here the word used is starve. So let's see what he finds further. The day wore on and it was almost afternoon. The sun was over the head and he was feeling tired and thirsty. As he looked around, he saw a little cottage, a little away from there. There was an orchard just behind the cottage. He went there to take some rest. Children, here the meaning of orchard is a place where fruits are grown, जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं बागीचा. Orchard. It was a beautiful orchard. There were mango grove on one side and some pomegranate trees on the other side. He sat under a mango tree and began to take rest. Soon the gentle breeze blowing through the trees refreshed him and he felt new vigor. अब वो एक ऑर्चर्ड में पहुंच चुका था जो एक कॉटेज के पीछे था. क्योंकि हल्की हल्की ठंडी हवा बह रही थी तो राजा को बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही रिफ्रेश लगा और एक नई ऊर्जा उसके अंदर आ गई. सो द वर्ड हियर वी हैव यूज्ड इज a new vigor. He was feeling thirsty, so he went towards the cottage and knocked at the door. A gracious woman came out. She was the owner of the cottage as well as the orchard. She was a kind and generous lady. Children, here the meaning of the generous is also kind. You can also use gracious for the same reason. So we will underline generous here and gracious and kind here. When she saw the tired merchant, she called him in. She offered him a seat and called out her daughter, Marian. When she came in, the woman asked her to prepare a glass of fresh pomegranate juice. उस लेडी ने अपनी बेटी मैरियन को बुलाया और कहा कि मर्चेंट के लिए अनार का जूस तैयार करो, बिल्कुल ही फ्रेश. Marian went to the orchard and plucked some fresh pomegranates. Here the verb plucked means तोड़ना. Plucked. She split them open and squeezed the juice into a glass. Few more interesting verbs, children, here. Split means दो हिस्सों में बांटना, ऐसे तोड़ना. और स्क्वीज करना, निचोड़ना, जब हम जूस निकालने के लिए या तो नींबू निचोड़ते हैं या कोई और फ्रूट लेते हैं. सो वी विल अंडरलाइन टू न्यू वर्ब्स हियर, स्प्लिट एंड स्क्वीज्ड. She also added a little salt and sugar to it. Then she floated a few green mint leaves on the surface of the juice and offered the glass to the guest. The tired and thirsty emperor sipped the glass slowly. He was pleased and his thirst was quenched. Children, hear the meaning of the phrase thirst was quenched means जब हमारी प्यास बुझती है. प्यास बुझने के लिए जो एक्सप्रेशन यूज होता है वो होता है quench. So we will underline thirst was quenched. But he was eager to know the function of floating mint leaves on it. जो पुदीने की पत्तियां, जो मिंट लीव्स उसके ऊपर फ्लोट कर रही थी, तैर कर रही थी, वो बहुत ही उत्सुक हुआ कि इसका फंक्शन क्या है, इसकी ज़रूरत क्या है. The juice was very sweet and tasty, he said. But what's the use of these mint leaves on it? I beg your pardon, sir, Marian said. But after a long ride on a hot day, you seem to be very thirsty. Had you drank the juice in a sip, you might have caught cold. So, I had added the leaves on the top so that you sip the juice slowly. मैरियन ने समझाया, अब क्योंकि आप इतने थके हुए थे और पूरे दिन सफ़र करके आ रहे थे, तो आप वो जूस था एक ही सिप में पी जाते अगर मैं उस मिंट लीव्स के बिना दे देती. इसलिए मैंने वो पुदीना के पत्ते ऊपर बिखेरे ताकि आप धीरे धीरे सिप बाय सिप घूंट घूंट करके वो जूस पिए. The emperor was extremely happy with the refreshing juice, the warm hospitality of the kind woman and the intelligence of the young girl. जो एम्परर था, किंग था, वो बहुत ही खुश हुआ। किससे? वार्म हॉस्पिटैलिटी से। हॉस्पिटैलिटी इज़ द वर्ड चिल्ड्रन दैट वी यूज़ व्हेन वी टेक केयर ऑफ आवर गेस्ट। किसी की आवभगत करने को हॉस्पिटैलिटी कहते हैं। सो एम्परर तीनों चीज़ों से बहुत ही खुश हुआ, उसकी अच्छी आवभगत हुई और मरियम की इंटेलिजेंस भी उन्होंने देख ली। सो हियर वी विल अंडरलाइन द वर्ड हॉस्पिटैलिटी। He asked for some more juice. Mariam went out to pluck some more pomegranate to prepare juice for her guest. Meanwhile, an idea struck in the emperor's mind. He admired the orchard and thought of levying a tax on the trees also. इतनी ही देर में एम्परर को एक आइडिया आया। उन्होंने कहा कि वो इस पेड़ों पे, जो ये ऑर्चर्ड है, बगीचा, इसके पेड़ों पे टैक्स लगाएंगे। That would enrich my treasury, he said to himself. उन्होंने अपने फ़ायदे की बात यहाँ सोची कि इससे उनका फ़ायदा होगा, उन्हें ज़्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे। But this time the girl didn't return soon. The emperor was getting impatient. She returned after a long time and handed over the glass of juice to him. This time the glass was half empty. However, he sipped the juice, but it was not as tasty as it was before. Rather, it was bitter. अब जब मैरियन वापस आई तो वो जल्दी नहीं आई, उसने काफ़ी देर लगाई और कुछ चेंजेस थे। वो ग्लास भी आधा ही भरा हुआ था, जूस भी इतना टेस्टी नहीं था, इनफैक्ट वो कड़वा था। कड़वा मीन्स बिटर। नाउ द एम्परर लॉस्ट हिज पेशेंस। अब एम्परर ने अपना सब्र खो दिया। He could not wait any longer. He disclosed who he was and demanded an explanation from the girl. To disclose means to tell the reality. Your Majesty, said Miriam in a humble tone. Now I understand why the fruits of the trees dried up so suddenly. Like all other living beings, the trees also expect justice and favor from the emperor. Only the goodwill of the monarchs helps the trees bear juicy fruits. They were happy when you arrived. So you got a glass full of flavored juice. But now it seems that they are scared of you. So they have lost their aroma and flavor. बच्चों, मरियम ने एम्परर की बात का बहुत ही अच्छा जवाब दिया, लेकिन बहुत ही आराम से, एक हम्बल टोन में। उसने समझाया कि जैसे ह्यूमन बींग्स को जस्टिस चाहिए अपने एम्परर से, अपने किंग से, ऐसे ही पेड़ भी लिविंग थिंग्स हैं और उन्हें ही वैसी रिस्पेक्ट चाहिए और वैसा ही जस्टिस चाहिए। वो पेड़ बहुत ही खुश थे जब आप आए थे और तब उन्होंने मीठा जूस दिया। लेकिन अब जबकि एम्परर की नीयत बदल गई है तो वो आपसे डरने लगे हैं, इसलिए उन्होंने अपना अरोमा, अपना फ्लेवर खो दिया है। Here the meaning of the word aroma is very good smell, which we used specially for eatables. खाने की चीज़ों की खुशबू के लिए हम एक वर्ड यूज़ करते हैं अरोमा, और फ्लेवर उनका अच्छा स्वाद। So we will underline here aroma and flavor. The emperor realized his mistake. At the same time, he was charmed with the witty reply of the pretty young girl. एम्परर को अपनी गलती का एहसास हुआ और वो समझ गए, और वो उस यंग गर्ल की बातों से भी बहुत ज़्यादा इम्प्रेस हुए और प्रभावित हुए। Go and tell your trees to feel at ease. The emperor smiled. I won't impose any tax on them. एम्परर ने कहा कि जो उन्होंने थोड़ी देर पहले ही सोचा था वो ट्रीज़ पे टैक्स लगाएंगे, उन्हें कर देने के लिए मजबूर करेंगे, वो अब ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं करेंगे। The girl bowed to the emperor and she too smiled. So this was the story of a wise emperor, Jahangir. And that is our learning for all of us, that we should be just and fair to everybody, whether it's human beings or other living beings. Children, do read the story again and attempt the book exercises.